Your change is our priority. Money, being loved, being celebrated, being respected whether you love them or not, you inevitably have to deal with these things. You wonder, what sacrifices have they made to reach such heights that we, ordinary people, have missed? What prayers do they know that we don't? Where do they get these from that we are unaware of? I'm talking about the rich, not the everyday people in your neighborhood, but those featured in newspapers, on television, in books, the shareholders of banks, and the major players in powerful enterprises around the world. These are also secrets that appear in everyday life but are not seen by everyone. They explain, in an understandable way, how they achieved it. The lesson? If you want to reach higher, if you want respect, wealth, and influence, you have to learn to see these invisible steps. Observe, adapt, and apply. Success is rarely a mystery, it's a method, and the rich have learned it well. 1. Some wake up before the sun rises. Early to bed, and early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise, said Benjamin Franklin. Well, this is what we used to believe when we were young. My parents would awake us early morning for studies or for going to school. My parents belonged to rural background who believed in keeping their daily routine in tune with the nature. It was an absolute must to get up before the sunrise in any case. Indian sages also advocated getting up early in the morning in the period which is often called Brahma Muhurta, or the time of Brahma, the creator. This is a period 1.5 hours before sunrise. This period is traditionally the last phase or muhurta of the night and is considered an auspicious time for all practices of yoga and most appropriate for meditation, worship, or any other types of religious or spiritual activities. I was always an early riser. When I was a student, my best time to study was in the morning. Even when I was in IIT Delhi, where I prepared for civil services, I used to get up early in the morning around 5 a.m. Most of my friends would sleep late in the night. They would slip a chit with their room numbers in my room stating the time at which I had to wake them up. IITD used to prepare tea for us early riser and keep it in the mess in a big jar at 4:30 a.m. I used to fetch a full glass of tea in steel glass to my room in the hostel and used to sip it slowly as I used to begin my day. By the time others used to get up around 8 to 8:30 a.m., I had already completed 3 hours of study. My mind used to work best in the morning and I used to take up the most difficult subject in the morning. However, I could never convince my daughters to get up early. They used to always get up as late as possible so that they didn't miss the school. On the weekends, they used to get up around 9 to 9:30 so that they didn't miss the breakfast. Now that both of them are employed, they do the same thing. They still wake up only around 9 to 10 a.m. just before the breakfast. This is only natural since they sleep late in the night. The new generations have their own reasoning for getting up late in the night. I, however, feel that getting up early is truly divine. Only when you can get up early, you can go for the morning walk in the fresh air and start your day with a healthy activity. You feel cheerful throughout the day once you start early. Getting up early in the morning is one of the values which most people are losing very fast all over the world. For example, when you are doing hard work like in construction, manual labor, or jobs that demand strength, it's not easy to get up at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. But when we were children, on the night before Christmas, when our parents bought us new clothes to wear for the celebration, we didn't sleep. We stayed awake, watching, and when we put on those new clothes, we weren't lying down resting, we were happy. We felt like the world belonged to us. So, the lesson is this: when we desire something extraordinary, we should be willing to stay awake, even at 2 a.m. if necessary. Poverty doesn't care about hunger, it won't wait for you to sleep. To achieve what you want, you must be alert, ready, and willing to work harder than others. Continue this only. 2. Some read or learn something new every day. Let's say all the money in the world was divided equally, giving everyone $12,500 USD. After that, the rich would do everything possible to regain their wealth through investments, businesses, and other ways of creating more money, and they could do this in just a few years, 4 to 10, depending on opportunities. What does this really mean? This is exactly how it happens. Everyone can have money, but what some people lack is the ability to keep it and grow it. That requires knowledge, learning, observing others, and learning from your own mistakes regarding money. Without understanding how to invest, save, and protect your money, no matter how much you receive, your progress will be slower than the rising sun. 3. Some invest in themselves before spending on anything else. Invest in yourself first. Some people spend all their money on things that give instant pleasure: new clothes, gadgets, cars, or parties. But the truly successful know a secret: before spending on anything else, they invest in themselves. What does that mean? It means putting your time, energy, and money into learning, building skills, and improving your health and mindset. Ways to invest in yourself: education and knowledge. Read books, take courses, learn new skills that will increase your value. Skills and talents: practice and improve abilities that help you earn, create, or innovate. Health and well-being: eat well, exercise, and manage stress to stay productive. Networking and relationships: connect with people who inspire you, mentor you, and open opportunities. Time and productivity: prioritize tasks that bring long-term results, focus on growth, and avoid distractions. Why it matters: investing in yourself first is like planting seeds that grow into trees of opportunities. Every dollar, hour, or effort you put into improving yourself will return multiple times in the future. 4. Some simply refuse to let failure define them. I do not let my mistakes define me. Nor do I let my successes define me. To me, life is in a constant state of flux, or flexible transition. Some days, I may screw up royally. Other days, everything goes the way I planned or even better. And most days, I'm just your average mediocre mess. So which of those things define me? Well, they all do. And none of them do. My failures inspire me to do better. And they also remind me not to take success for granted. My successes show me that life isn't always a giant pile of shit. Things can be good. And my mediocre days give me an opportunity to take a breather between more dramatic days of either success or failure. They give me a chance to take a look at what needs to be done and plan things out accordingly. If I'd let either of those 3 states define me, I'd end up becoming a loser, a nobody, or an arrogant fool. And I'm not an arrogant fool all the time, so I can't let those states define me as a person. I'm everything and nothing. And everything in between. And so are you. Well, it is easy a learn lesson when you know that you have not done that type of hard work what you need. But it is really difficult to understand a lesson when you know you have done really hard work, sacrifices things, but you are still a failure. After failure, you will feel like you don't want to do anything. Whenever you think I will start over, your mind reminds you that you have failed after really hard work. What if I start over? I will fail again. And minds start thinking about it and demotivate you, and you started feeling now everything has over. Now that point we find a winner or loser. A loser quit on that point. But a winner think, I have 2 options, either I can regret for my failure or I will start again and I will do my work with more hard work. Maybe I will be failure, so what, at least I will try to achieve my best and I will do my hard work, and maybe I will fail, but I will never regret in my whole life that I never tried again. There are people who fail many times, yet they still reach their dreams. Could you be one of them? You already know the examples you see today who made it all the way. That's how they started too. So don't give up. You can get there as well. Congratulations for watching. Your change is our priority.